So, so what is KVPY? It is actually Government of India's program called Kishore, Vaigyanik, Protsahan Yojana. Okay. Kishore, Vaigyanik, Protsahan Yojana is actually a scholarship program, okay, funded by the Department of Science and Technology, DST, and by Government of India. Okay. It is basically to incentivize and encourage, motivate people to do research in sciences, in basic sciences. Okay. So they conduct these exams and they give scholarships to children who are selected as KVPY fellows. Okay. Every year, many children get selected as KVPY fellows and they get scholarship throughout their education. Okay. What are the kinds of scholarships they get? Okay. For studying bachelor's degree in pure sciences, they get somewhere around rupees 5,000 rupees per month and rupees 20,000 rupees after the year for contingency like buying books and many other things, and rupees 7,000 rupees when they actually get into master's program, and 28,000 for basically contingency money. So now, however, okay, this is not the main attraction of KVPY. Scholarship is not the only attraction. It's not the main attraction. What is the main attraction of KVPY? So now this KVPY, if you actually become a KVPY fellow, you get a direct admission to some of these very premier institutes, IISc, ISER, and IIT, HND. You get direct admission into these places. So how does one get through this KVPY? When does this happen? Okay, how can we use this to get into pure science career in premier institutes? So that is what we will see a little bit and try to understand that. Then how do we prepare for that? We'll also look at that. So KVPY is actually conducted in 3 levels. Okay. What are those 3 levels? KVPY is conducted in a level called as Stream SA. Okay. Stream SA is for students who are studying in currently 11th standard with PCMB subjects as the core subjects. Okay. That means they have completed 10th and they are getting into 11th. They are in the 11th. So those students can take this Stream SA. Okay. There is one more thing called a Stream SX, that is when you are studying in 12th standard. Okay. This is again, out of the PCMB, you can choose 3 out of 4 to write the exam. Okay, in this. And in another, next one is called Stream SB. If you have already passed 12th, you are studying in actually the first year of your undergraduate course in sciences. Then you can choose, basically, you can take this course. And this is again 3 out of 4 subjects. Okay. So now, with all these streams, if you look at, the people get selected in any of these streams. Okay, in each one of those streams, when you get selected, you will be given the fellow. Basically, there will be a small interview, and after the interview, you get the KVPY fellow, okay, and a scholarship. And that is for you a visa for your programs in higher education in pure science career in India, in premier institutes. Okay. So now, when are the examinations are held? Examinations are generally held in the first week of November. Okay. If you have joined 11th standard and you have basically gone through half of 11th standard and you are in 11th standard, you get basically Stream A, okay, Stream SA. So what is the syllabus for that? Okay, so syllabus, people ask what is the syllabus for that. For Stream SA, also now one more other thing is that if you want to know more details, now whatever details I am telling you is only salient features. If you want to know more details, there is a website by Government of India actually, specifically on all KVPY queries and how they conduct exams, what is the eligibility criteria, everything. You can go and look at this website. Okay, so what is the syllabus for Stream SA? Okay, Stream SA, the syllabus is up to 10th standard, that is all, plus a little bit more. So what it means is, if you are in 10th standard, if you have finished 10th standard and if you have understood the subject very well, and if you have also understood a little more than that, and when you are in 11th, you have already studied 1 or 2 chapters. So that is what basically is Stream A SA syllabus. Okay, not very much different from what you have in the syllabus. So Stream SX is actually up to 12th standard. So though the examinations are there in November, you will be actually asked full syllabus of the 12th standard. So remember, if you are going to take Stream SX, you will have to finish studying everything before October of that year. Okay, and then Stream SB is while you are in degree, so first year degree. So hence you would have already finished up to 12th, but syllabus is same. SX and SB they have the same question paper in fact. So if you see all these things and see that in the first one, Stream SA, it is actually all full PCMB. You have to take all 4. Okay, there are in the question paper, if you see, there will be questions from each one of those areas, like about somewhere around 20 questions from each one of them, PCMB, and you will have to take all of them. There is no choice. And in the Stream SX, there is a choice. You can take 3 out of 4 subjects. Out of the PCMB, you can choose whichever 3 you want to take. And in Stream SB also, the same scenario. Okay, you can have some choice. Now, the question basically is, which of these streams are easier to enter? Okay, is there any kind of difficulty level differences in these things? There is nothing actually. Everywhere you need a very good understanding of science. But in my experience, I've seen that the Stream SA tends to be somewhat easier than the other stream. Fundamentally because the syllabus is limited up to 10th standard, and 11th 12th syllabus is not much is there, and most of it is basically conceptual level, not too mathematical. No calculus will be there, for example. So the Stream SA seems basically a easier bet. Suppose if you are already in 12th standard, you have no option, you can take Stream SX. But if you are getting into 11th standard, or if you are currently in 10th standard, please focus on Stream SA, and you have a very high chance of clearing it. And the competition is very high though. Lakhs of people are taking it in India, and there will be hardly about 3,000 fellows that they will announce in each together with all the streams, less than 3,000. So you can start studying for KVPY, and that will be an entry for you into the pure sciences. But before going, actually I want to give you a small suggestion on how do we go about studying for KVPY. Okay, so how to prepare for KVPY? That is the question. So now I am only talking about Stream SA now, because the Stream SB and SX are mostly in 12th standard, and a lot of people who are preparing for JEE, they are already into some kind of preparation for KVPY, but many people actually don't take SA very seriously, and that is a very good chance of getting into KVPY, getting through KVPY. So how do you do this Stream SA, for example? So in fact, there is nothing like very detailed coaching that is available today anywhere, okay, in India. So, and it is not even intended to be that way. Okay, it is intended to be basically for children who are really interested in research areas, and they are showing that interest in while they are studying. And when they are in 8th standard, 9th standard, 10th standard, they have asked questions which others could not answer, and they have pursued those questions, try to get them their own answers. They did experiments, they studied many things apart from the exams. Such children are basically very naturally, they would have understood the concepts very well. Okay, so those are the ones who get in here. Okay, this is not like just pushing somebody into science stream. You have to have a real interest in science. So the first and foremost thing is that if you have not yet done those things but really interested, you have to strengthen your fundamentals. So it is very important that the concepts and techniques used, the concepts are mostly for let's say chemistry and biology and physics, and techniques in mathematics, okay, and some techniques in physics too. So you should have shown a lot of interest while studying them, otherwise you will have to strengthen it today whenever you are starting. Okay, strengthening the fundamentals is very important. So you have to go and ask more questions, try to understand better, go deep into it. Do not get limited by the syllabus. Ask whatever you want. That is the only way to basically learn the fundamentals. So once you do that, then you have to work on applying those concepts. So you have to learn some concept. Now, how do you apply it to a real world scenario? How does this work? How does the internal combustion engine work? What is the thermodynamics behind that? So if you keep asking such questions, how do you apply it in real world? Or if in imaginary world, sometimes you see, if you want to create, let us say, a floating space station, how do I make sure that the gravitation actually is there in that? Can I create an artificial gravity? So those are like not really real at this point, but they are possible. Okay. Imagination does not mean fantasy, imagining the future. So think about such things when applying concepts. When people talk about what is this wormhole, what are these general theory of relativity, children have these kinds of doubts, okay, when they are curious. So if you are pursuing on those things and try to learn that and how to apply the known concepts into those areas, then you are actually halfway through it. Okay. And then finally you have to practice. Okay. Practice is something that you cannot avoid. You have to answer some questions of similar kind. You have to take several problems and solve them. Go to the nitty-gritty of those problems, sit yourself and solve. So these are the things that you need to do to be able to get through this. So there are also lots of these competitive examinations at up to 10th level, NTSC. Many of these question banks are there. You can see, you can get nice questions from there. So Olympiads, many questions are available, so you can try them, okay, and see whether you can do this. Okay. However, suppose if you want some kind of help, okay, so then we are actually also conducting not really a coaching kind of a scenario. We have this something called as a real learning center. Okay, it's an online education portal where we teach many of these fundamentals, strengthen the fundamentals, work on some nice interesting problems, all that we are going to do. So you can engage with us in real learning center and also learn some of these things, and that is one of the options. Okay, so all the best. Choose your career in pure sciences and become great scientists.